Hello students, good morning to all of you. Today we are going to discuss second practical of class 12. Name of the experiment is study of flowers adapted to pollination by different agents or agencies. So flowers adapted to different agencies or agents of pollination for cross pollination. Mainly agencies are required for cross pollination, and there are different types of cross pollination, different agencies of cross pollination like wind, water, insects, birds, etc. So we have to different agencies we have to discuss, and how the flowers are adapted for that kind of pollination, like anemophily, entomophily, ornithophily. For these kinds of pollination, how the flowers are adapted, what kind of adaptation flowers show. So first of all, let me discuss the requirements. What things are required for this practical? To conduct this practical, we require requirements. We require flowers, fresh flowers. Flowers should be fresh flowers of maize, grass family. Okay, this is called anemophily. So the flowers of maize, grass, etc. are pollinated by wind. So this is called anemophily. Second category, flowers of rose or China rose or salvia plus brassica. Brassica means mustard, sarso. In these agencies of pollination is insects. Insects are the agents of pollination. This is called entomophily. Okay. Now third category is the flowers. Flowers of bombyx, shimel or bombyx, cotton silk भी कहते हैं. This is also called silk cotton. Bombyx, shimel or silk cotton. The scientific name of silk cotton or shimel is bombyx. In bombyx, the pollination is brought about by insects. Next one is pallas. So pallas is the flower of the Jharkhand, of the state Jharkhand. Pallas, or commonly called flame of the fire, flame of the forest. Pallas is commonly called flame of the forest. This is the flower of Jharkhand, symbolic flower of, you can say, Jharkhand. So in these flowers, the agencies of pollination are birds. It is called ornithophily. So we have discussed at least two, but now today we are going to discuss three types of flowers and three agencies of pollination, cross pollination. Anemophily by wind, entomophily by insects, and ornithophily by birds. And now let us discuss the different types of adaptations the flowers have developed for these kinds of pollination. The first of all, let me discuss the anemophily. Okay. Now, students, let me discuss first of all anemophily. Pollination by wind. Here the agent is wind. Now, what kind of features, what characteristics the flower should possess for anemophily? For pollination by wind or air. So the flowers are what? Small, very small in size, inconspicuous. Very small in size, inconspicuous, means not clearly visible. Very small in size, very minute I can say, and present in large numbers. Flowers are present in large number on the floral axis. The flowers are very small in size, inconspicuous, and present in clusters or in large number on the floral axis. Second point, flowers are colorless, unscented. They don't have scent. Fragrance नहीं होता है flower में. The flowers are colorless, unscented, absence of fragrance, and lack nectaries or nectar glands. These glands are absent. What the reason behind is the flower air is wind is a kind of dead thing. The wind cannot be lured, cannot be attracted by color, scent, or fragrance, and nectaries. Nectar glands possess sugary substance. So by these means or methods, wind cannot be attracted. Wind is not a live thing, not a living thing. Okay, so that's why these things are absent. Anther. What about the anther? Anther is the flower. So what about the anther, which is the male part of the flower? Male part is anther, female part is what, pistil or carpel. So what about the anther? Anther should be well exposed and versatile. Anther should be versatile. Versatile means anther is well exposed, raised up in the air, and whenever wind blows, air blows, wind blows, okay, the anther can swing heavily. There is a rapid swing of the anther. This is called versatile anther. This helps in the scattering of the pollen grains. Next point. What about the pollen grains? See this point, pollen grains. What features the pollen grain should possess? Pollen grains are minute, lightweight, dry or non-sticky. Pollen grains should be minute, lightweight and dry or non-sticky. Okay? And are produced in large number. So when pollen grains are blown through the air, carried by the air, large number of pollen grains may be wasted, may fall upon the terrace, on road, on other plants, on leaves, etc. So they got loss of a huge number of, large number of pollen grains are lost, wasted. So that's why the pollen grains are, to effect the pollination, the pollen grains must be produced in very large number. Okay. Now let us come to the stem, the female sex organ. Okay. Now the stigma. Stigma is the landing platform, is the landing structure. The stigma is the structure on which the pollen grains fall upon. Okay. The pollen grains fall upon the stigma or stigmatic surface. What feature the stigma should possess? Stigma should be also well exposed, hairy or feathery, hair-like or feather-like. What for this? This increases the surface area. So higher the surface area, greater will be chances or more will be the chances of trapping the pollen grains being blown by the air, present in the air. So to trap the pollen grains present in the air in large number, the stigma should be well exposed, hairy or feathery. Okay, I will show the plant, the flower also. You can see, you can find these features. Next one is, let me take the examples. What kind of flowers, what kind of plants or flowers are entomophilous? Anemophilous. The anemophily you can find in case of maize, grasses, etc. Paddy, maize, grasses, you find anemophily. Anemophily. These plants pollination is brought about by the air or wind. Okay. Now let me come to the flower. Let me show the flower. Students, let me the second type of pollination, cross pollination, entomophily. Entomophily, here the agency of pollination is insect. Insects are the agents of pollination, and you should know that insects are the most powerful agents of cross pollination. Now, what should be the flower's features, characteristics for entomophily or for pollination by insects? The flower should be conspicuous, often colored, scented, or may have foul smell, pungent smell. Some insects are attracted by fragrance, and some insects are attracted by foul smell or pungent smell. They like foul smell or pungent smell. Okay, so the flower should be colored, conspicuous, often colored, scented, or may have foul smell. Possess nectaries or nectar gland. Nectaries or nectar glands are well developed. This contains sugary substance. So, in search of nectaries or the sugary substance, insects visit the flowers. Now, flowers generally possess landing platform. Landing platform. What is the landing platform? This is the kind of platform for the landing of the insects. Insects land upon the platform, the structure in the flower. So their flower must have a structure for the landing of the insects on the flower. Okay. Now, sometimes the flower shows lever mechanism or turnpike mechanism of cross pollination. I will discuss later on. Now, what should be the feature of anther? So, anther, this here is the structure. Anther is the structure in which pollen grains are produced. When the pollen grains are matured, pollen grains rupture, anther ruptures, and the pollen grains are liberated. The pollen grains are very small in size. Size is very small, but larger than anemophilus. Lightweight, it's not so heavy, lightweight, and it is sticky. Very important feature. Pollen grains must be sticky, so that when the insect visit the flower, they visit the flower in search of nectar, nectaries, etc. Pollen grains get stuck to the body, wings, legs, mouth parts, etc. of the insects, and when the insect visits another flower, the pollen grains are transferred from one flower to another flower for cross pollination. Now, the pollen grains sticky. Why it is sticky? So, for entomophily, the pollen grains are sticky due to the presence of pollen kit. Pollen kit is yellowish, shiny, yellowish, sticky substance or layer coating over the pollen grain. This is called pollen kit. Due to presence of pollen kit, the pollen grains are sticky in nature. Okay? Now, what about the stigma? Stigma should be also here. Stigma should be properly visible, conspicuous, and some cases stigma provides the landing platform, or stigma may rub the body of the insects. When the insects land upon the flower, it tries to enter the flower in search of nectaries or nectar glands. So stigma or anther rubs the body surface, and when anther rubs the body surface, pollen grains get attached to the body of the insects. Okay, when it visits another flower, this way the pollen grains can be transferred from one flower to another flower. Let me give the examples. Most of the flowers which are scented and brightly colored flowers, scented, having the fragrance, they show entomophily. Example: China rose, sunflower, marigold, water hyacinth, salvia, etc. Salvia, this is very important plant. In salvia, the mechanism of pollination is lever mechanism, or it is also called turnpike mechanism. So, in this case, the flower is what? It is protanthrous. Protanthrous means, I have written this word, protanthrous. Means the anther and what? Carpel or pistil, these two do not mature at the same time. Anther and ovary do not mature at the same time. They mature at different time. So, if the anther matures earlier, this is called protanthrous. If the gynoecium or the ovary matures earlier, it is called protogyny or protogynous. The most of the cases, the condition is protanthrous, means anther matures first, and the maturation of the ovary is delayed. So, this is to avoid cross pollination. So, this is to avoid self pollination. If the flower is bisexual, this prevents this self pollination, and this allows cross pollination. So, these are the turnpike mechanism, very special mechanism which is found in salvia, which you might have studied in theory. I have discussed in the theory what is turnpike mechanism. Salvia shows this kind of mechanism. In some cases, the flowers provide space for laying the eggs. As in case of Amorphophallus, old, fig. In case of fig or Amorphophallus, old, the insects visit the flower and insects lay eggs inside the flower. So this flower provides safe place for laying the eggs. In case of fig, some of the developing seeds are offered by the flowers or by the plant to the larvae as food. Okay, so this is the type of entomophily. Flowers and features for entomophily type of pollination. Now let me show the now hello students, now let me discuss the third type of pollination, and that is ornithophily. Ornithophily, here the agencies of pollination are birds. So pollination by birds, it is called ornithophily. So most powerful agent of pollination is cross pollination is entomophily, insects. And among the insects, bees are the most important or most powerful or most potent tool of cross pollination. So birds bring about pollination in few plants. There are few plants only, some plants only, in which pollination is brought about by birds. Now, what feature the flower should show for ornithophilia? Flower should be large enough. Flower should be sufficiently large and brightly colored. So, bright color is very important thing. Fragrance is not necessary. In case of ornithophilia, fragrance is not necessary, but bright, large size and bright color, this is necessary. These two are necessary because so that the birds can visualize the flower, locate the flower from a long distance also. Now, next one is flowers generally bell shaped or funnel shaped. Flowers are generally bell shaped or funnel shaped or bell shaped. Petals are large and leathery. Petals are generally large and leathery. Why leathery? Because when birds come to the flower, approach the flower, birds are hovering over the flower, have approached the flower. So due to pressure of the wings of the birds, air pressure of the wings of the birds, the petals may get damaged. So that's why the petals should be large and thick and leathery to avoid damage. Next one, the pollen grains are sticky, generally sticky. Okay. Now, nectar glands. Nectar glands are well developed. Again, very important feature. Nectar glands are highly developed. Nectar glands or nectaries are more developed as compared to the entomophilus or entomophilia. Okay. So that to feed the birds. So birds visit the flower in search of nectaries or nectaries, sugary substance. तो ये यहाँ पर it is highly developed here in this case because the birds visit the flower in search of nectaries. Next one is, you can give the examples. There are some plants in which cross pollination is brought about by birds. Silk cotton और शिमल का पेड़ होता है, शिमल का रुई होता है, सिल्क कॉटन, शिमल कहते हैं इसको, सैंफिडियम बॉम्बेक्स, बिग्नोनिया, next one, Palas, flame of the forest. This plant is unique to Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh also. You find this plant. So Palas, and it is called flame of the forest. In flowering season, approx March and April, when you visit the forest tract or area, the whole area will look like a flame of the fire. So the color of the flower is flame of the fire. So it is called flame of the forest. Now let me discuss the begonia. Very special case in case of begonia. Begonia is a kind of what? Begonia, in this case, the flowers are present in cluster or groups. And in begonia, the pollination is brought out by the smallest bird in the world, and that is hummingbird. Hummingbirds bring about pollination in begonia. In begonia, pollination is brought out by hummingbirds. Okay? So, I will send you the photograph of begonia or bombex or silk cotton. You can see the flower, you can visualize the flower, or you can search the flower in the internet also. You can visualize and search in net also. Now the flower is not available, so you search in the net, or I may search the flower in the internet and I will send the photograph to you. So that's all for today, and that's all for the second practical has been completed. Okay, you have to note down the practical and the practical in the copy also.